Imagine getting behind the wheel of your favorite car, the one that commands your attention. It features a giant bird screaming across the hood, a frequent conversation starter at gas stations. You grab the steering wheel and hold on until you pull into an historic small town in Ohio. What is this place? Do time machines really exist? Your favorite car, the Trans Am, lines the streets in every direction. This is how it feels to pull into Tipp City, Ohio's historic Main Street during the Trans Am Nationals. The 39th Annual Trans Am Nationals took place at the Fairburn, Ohio Holiday Inn on August 23, 2024. Founded in 1840, 15 miles north of Dayton, Ohio, Tipp City was once known as Tippecanoe City. Tipp City shuts down the roads each August, allowing only Pontiac Trans Ams, Formulas, and Firebirds access to park during the Trans Am Nationals Saturday afternoon cruise. Crowds gather to explore the quaint town. Bustling with independently owned shops, eateries, and art, Tipp City offers so much to explore, making it a one-of-a-kind destination for the ultimate Trans Am show.
It was a package deal, him in the car.
These Trans Am twins are parked across the street from each other in Tipp City.
You know, my dad taught me to take care of things.
Each bought 1975 Pontiac Trans Ams 49 years ago.
You had this car a long time?
49 years. Brand new. I was 19.
Had y'all known each other before?
No, we met each other at these shows.
Chuck is from Ontario, Canada. Gary hails from Sandusky, Ohio.
He's from Ohio. I'm from Ontario, Canada.
We always get together.
So you bought it in Ohio when you...
Yeah, Don Everett Pontiac in Sandusky, Ohio.
How many miles have you put on it?
It's about 103,300 right now.
So 75 is that Buccaneer red?
They have no plans to ever sell their cars.
75. It's his 75.
That's a heck of a story. 49 years. So what made you hold on to it? Because I know you've had some ups and downs in life.
I never planned it. It's just it worked out that way. As my first real new car. Actually, I had snow tires on it the first winter, but it never got in the snow. I decided to park it. And so I just kept parking it every winter. Stored it.
Saved it.
Yeah, and it just snowballed.
How many miles have you put on it over the years, you think?
The odometer is showing 170,000 miles, so I drove it. 1976, the year after I bought it, I did drive it to California and been to San Francisco with it. And then I went up to Canada, to BC, drove through our side back home, through the Rockies and that.
Did you have your wife before you had the car?
No.
Oh, it's a story. Some people say, "Wow, I've had the car longer than my wife." So.
Yeah.
My wife was my girlfriend when I bought my
Oh, okay. So did she have any input on whether you kept it, or did she say keep it or sell it at any point?
There was no option there. I was going to keep it. Store it in the winter and drive it in the summer only. I knew when I bought it.
It came with no air.
Okay.
So I added air to it about 12 years ago.
Smart man.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a sign of getting older and you want the windows up.
That's right.
Keep
That's
the
right.
noise
Well, I
out.
love the color combo.
Yeah.
The red interior.
Red, white, and blue. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's pretty rare, actually. Pretty rare.
This is the only one I've seen.
That's the way I bought it. It was on the lot already. And I traded this 1971 Mach 1 Mustang on it. I paid $4,100 difference. This car handled like a Ferrari compared to that car when I first drove this one.
How many years have you been coming to the Trans Am Nationals?
I started when they were at Vandalia. I'd have to look back and look at my hat pins that I got at home.
Okay.
Find the oldest one to see when I started.
Okay. It's a great car. Great car. Good little walk around.
Gary and Chuck's original owner stories highlight the devotion many share for Pontiac's Trans Am.
Interior looks great. Yeah, those 75 seats are the best.
Yes. And now this is the deluxe interior. This is called the horse collar. It looks like a horse collar.
And you got the rear console too. Look at
That's
that.
pretty rare. Yes.
That is rare. Wow. Well, how do you like the car?
Love it. It was a package deal, him in the car.
Pretty good. Yeah, well, that's great. Y'all are still together and you still got the car.
This is where I bought it. But I went back to the dealer and got another sticker.
Okay. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Yeah.
Goderich, Ontario, Canada.
Rob Reese. My wife is Tina Reese, and we're from Kokomo, Indiana. We call it was paint jail for 21 months. We had it painted back the original Signet Gold. We replaced the carpet, but other than that, and the console, of course, everything is the original. 59,000 miles on this car. Spent its whole life till about 8 years ago in Texas. And guy moved to Michigan, and then luckily for us decided to sell it, so we bought it from him. But Weatherford, Texas is where this car was from. We went with the 70s vibe with the big Kragers on the back and the side pipes. Thought it really gives it a good look. Added the Trans Am hood this year. Kind of gives it a little extra pop, which we love. Engine is the original 326. It has been rebuilt. We did a 2-barrel to 4-barrel conversion on it a couple of years ago. It's a factory AC car, being from Texas. Unfortunately, it doesn't work, but it's just a cruiser.
And it's the Power Glide column shift. So
it is. I'm going to be corrective here. It is not a Power Glide.
Oh, it's not. All
Power
right.
Glide is Chevy only. It's called a Super Turbine 300. 2-speed column shift. That was Buick, Olds, and Pontiac had this transmission in it.
So you know you may be at the Trans Am Nationals when you get good information, you get the correct stuff here.
We spotted this beautiful 1976 Pontiac Trans Am still in the hands of the original owner, Ohio's Ken Wilkins.
I'm Ken Wilkins. I'm from Fairfield, Ohio.
Ken tells us his story standing next to his 33,000 original mile 50th anniversary limited edition Trans Am. These 1976 Pontiacs were notable because they were the first to wear the black hood with gold Firebird and detailed stripes that Burt Reynolds made famous in Smokey and the Bandit. Most revere the Bandit Special Edition Trans Ams built between 1977 and 1981, but Ken's car is extra special in that it has a secret. Ken wanted a sunroof installed in his new 1975 Pontiac Firebird formula, but learned that T-tops were going to be made available on the 1976 model. Well, Katie barred the door. Ken was ready to trade his one-year-old formula for a new Trans Am, and it had to have T-tops. Problems with sealing and flex issues on the T-top roof prompted Pontiac to end the availability of the Hurst Hatch T-top option after 633 limited edition cars were built in 1976. Ken's would be built without T-tops, one of 1,957 hardtops of the total 2,590 50th anniversary limited edition cars. That did not stop Ken and the dealer from adding a Cars and Concepts T-top roof to his Trans Am.
Now, did you order these when you, or they?
Well, what happened is they built 633 of them, okay, and they leaked.
Okay.
They made it was the Hurst Hatch roofs, and they leaked. So they said stop making them. And the place that I went to buy this car, the whole reason I had a 75, I was going to have a sunroof put in, and he goes, "Why are they doing that when they're coming out with T-tops?" I said, "I want that car." So they said, "You got to put down some money because we're only going to get 2." And I said, "Okay, how much?" And they said $100. $100 back then is like $500 and something dollars.
Yeah.
So I got the car, but I didn't have the T-tops. I said, "I wanted the car for the T-tops." The guy says, my sister was going out with the son's owner of the Pontiac car dealership. And so
These are CNC.
CNC, this is 48 years old, but look at this.
Wow.
Look how, and you know why? Because I use pure silicone. And I put it underneath and on the sides and the top. That's pure silicone, that's 48 years old.
So, well, 48 years ago, you're pretty smart to start taking care of this thing.
A buddy of mine and I, we like detailing, you know, waxing the cars and stuff like that. And we put them up on ramps and change the oil and stuff. And I went to change the oil for the first time on this, and we couldn't get it undone. We couldn't because it started tearing. He goes, "I'll take care of this." He shoves a screwdriver through it.
Oh.
Starts turning the screwdriver, and it's tearing the oil filter apart.
Oh.
And I went, "Well, if you tear the oil filter apart, you don't have nothing to grab onto to turn it." So we taped it up. We took the screwdriver out. We taped it up and drove it to a garage.
Oh,
and
my
they
God.
used the power to get it off. It had been painted on. Blue was on. See, the blue is on the oil pan down there, but it was blue on the oil filter. And I went, "Oh," or either that or they put it on real dry.
Dang,
But
that's crazy.
we were not
Wow.
happy. I was having a garage sale one time, and this guy came by and he goes, "What's underneath the tarp?" I said, "Oh, it's a Trans Am." He goes, "Can I see it? I used to work in Norwood."
Pontiac Firebirds and Trans Ams were built at the General Motors assembly plant in Norwood, Ohio from 1969 through 1987.
I was talking to him, and we were making good conversation. He says, "If you sell me this leather jacket," he said, "I'll bring you stuff that I have."
A former quality control worker at the Norwood plant provided several mementos gathered from his career and traded them to Ken for a leather jacket.
His name tag, his hat, his coat, and this plate. guys at the plant looked at the back of this, and it had a little bean on the back. It said China, and they smashed it. So this is kind of rare. He brought me these though. This is real rare. He was quality control.
Okay.
He checked the gap. He checked gaps and stuff. First generation,
Wow.
second generation, and third generation.
Rare items provided include tools used to check gap distance on doors, hood, and fenders on first, second, and third generation Firebirds.
This is, nobody else has this.
Wow, look at that.
And see what it says on it? It's got like this has like,
Hood.
yeah,
fender,
hood, quarter panel, yeah, and hood, fender, HD, fender, FDR.
RKR,
And it's your gap,
right?
it's all your gap, yeah, I guess.
All right.
But he made those.
It's pretty heavy. Pretty heavy.
And then see, of course, you don't want to nick up the car. So he finally went the nylon or something, you know what I mean? It was like,
Back then,
So-
they slapped them together.
right,
Yeah.
that's, and if you look, I'll show you some. I don't know, do you know much a lot about these Trans Ams?
I know a little bit.
You know, if this back, if it's closed, it shouldn't be equal.
Because I didn't line them up at the factory. I know I have a 79 and it's off. And that,
Look at,
oh yeah, the height is,
if it's correct, it's wrong.
yeah, if it's correct, it's not original.
Right.
Well, mine is original then. So this hasn't been repainted?
No.
It's original paint. Decals, paint, wow.
Well, let me show you here. And now it's actually, since it's not so sunny, you see this right here? You see these little beads like right here?
Yeah, I see that.
Well, you'd say that's orange peel. That's actually someone's handprint from Norwood. What happened is,
Oh, I see it.
came out
I can
about
see a palm.
it came out like 15 years ago. All of a sudden they came through, and there's also a spot right here too.
That's it.
And well, they evidently touched it before. It was prepped, but it wasn't painted. So when they closed the lid, then they went and got it painted, and then it showed up.
They had oil in the
Later
hand.
on,
Oh,
later on
wow.
though, that many years. 'Cause I got mad. I said, "Why isn't it?" You know, and then I realized somebody says, "That's a handprint." I went, "Oh man."
I'd see where some of the underside of that spoiler doesn't get painted good. Like they just spray
right,
this
right.
part and that gets a little thin, but wow.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job. You know.
Wow, look at that.
Of course, I've waxed it a million times.
So it's
This
lived
is-
in the garage
this
pretty
is all-
much its whole life.
No, actually. Now look at the inside. You're probably not going to see them too much better than that.
Right, that is
And even that front bezel, the machine bezel,
the machine,
on the
right,
dash.
right. And got all the
That's
little,
all original.
wow.
Now, just recently, I took some Rit black, and I touched it up. And my wife did it to the back part right here. It was kind of turning tan, and then she did it because the others look pretty good. And then just a couple days ago, I said, I'm going to do the whole car, and I did it out in the sun, and it was dry by like a couple hours later.
It looks great.
All you do is take Rit, dye, and you put about that much in, and a little bit of water, and then you take a sponge, go like that, and look at what it does. I mean, it's brand new.
That is impressive.
I never use mats either.
Oh, no, never? Oh, how many miles have you put on it?
It just turned over 33,000.
Over the years, new cars come out that might have tempted you into trading or selling, but never.
Well, yeah, but I really didn't have money for that kind. And
But like the 77.
I took a hit on that 75 by selling it so soon after buying it.
Oh, you had one before this?
Oh yeah, I had
Okay.
a Buccaneer red, and that was the one I was going to have a sunroof put in. And then the guy says, "Why are you doing that? They're coming out with the T-tops." And that's it. And then I saw it, and that's when they says you got to put $100 down. Everybody laughs at that, but back then that was a lot of money.
So then the Smokey and the Bandit movie came out, and you already had
I drove this to the movie.
So you were a big dog in town. Everybody said, "Hey,
And
that
I got
guy."
on it getting out of there too.
So yeah,
But, yeah,
everybody knew you.
On my way here, the guy in front of me, it was like 8:30 in the morning, and he blew a tire.
Oh,
and as soon as
God.
that happened, I started seeing it going down, and I looked at my rear view mirror, and there's nobody behind me. I just put on my brakes, slow, and boom, pieces are flying all over, you know,
Oh,
because
God.
the farther you go with a torn up tire, it's gonna disintegrate.
So it's gonna get to the point you're gonna need to trailer this in an enclosed trailer.
Nah. Never done that.
All right, well you're brave, because stuff like that can happen. I know you gotta have.
I'm worried about maybe
but,
rocks coming up and hitting the glass, and have to have that replaced.
man, that paint looks great for this many years. The decals.
Yeah.
Sitting in the sun, are you not concerned? Does that concern you a little bit?
Yeah, I don't like seeing it baked.
Right.
But you tell it's all original decals, you know, because the gold doesn't look really gold. There's some spots, like black spots.
Wow.
You go to one that got, you know, really good decal on there, and you'll tell the big difference in it. But 50th anniversary of Pontiac Motor Division.
The value on these in the last 5 years, it seems like it's escalated dramatically.
Because of Burt Reynolds and dying and all that stuff. So, yeah.
People are waking up and saying, hey, these were before Burt Reynolds' cars.
Right. But I put this for, somebody told me to put it under unrestored Concours. I never even heard of unrestored Concours. So I did, and then they judged it. They had like 5 guys looking at it for about 40 minutes, asking me all these questions and stuff. So I had mine judged, and I got the gold.
Congratulations!
First time,
Congratulations! That's
like
awesome.
The insurance company, I said, oh, the price of the Trans Am just went up.
So you got the fuzzy, the hose, the hairy hose
That's
that everybody.
Yeah, that's, you won't see that on most cars because they don't have them. You know, they disintegrate. Whenever I drive this, I always, when I get where I'm going, like even at home, I'll pop the hood. One thing is to check to make sure there's no mice.
Oh,
made
yeah.
a nest, and my
Oh,
brother-in-law, his car burned up from that.
Oh, yikes!
And I closed the hood, just drive it, but then I always let the heat out whenever I go to someplace because that'll deteriorate if you don't
Ah, yeah.
let the heat out. Another thing that's original that most of these cars do not have is this rubber right here. They get the reproduction. That's original.
I've never seen that. I guess that's.
You can get reproduction.
Okay.
So, you know. The car's not perfect.
Right,
as you can see dings in it, stuff like that, but it was driven. You know, I drove it 4 years, you know, in the snow and everything, outside, in the salt. One thing about the exhaust, on this side over here, it looks a little better. The black chrome exhaust tip,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and they're pretty rare, actually. They said between 7 and 11 cars got it.
Black
That's
chrome
black
exhaust. Wow. Yep. How about that? Let's see if I put my ring down there, see the difference, but it is darker. Congratulations, the Concours. Original owner.
Yeah. Getting up to 48 years, that's pretty good for the original owner. Not too many of us around.
I think they did a group photo of everybody that's original owner at this show. Yeah, they need to. I don't think they have, but they need to.
Or sit up on the
Be sure to hit the subscribe button and like if you dig the video. More are coming. If you have a cool story, and would like to be featured on Junkyard Life, contact us at junkyardbull@gmail.com.
Thanks for watching Junkyard Life, the story beneath the rust.